So Halloween is a thing that is happening soon. Let's talk about that. So hey guys, and welcome to another video, and this is the video where I tell you my recommendations on what I think you should be reading this Halloween. I am very, very rarely scared by books. Even feeling on edge or the suspense, I don't really get it. I usually like the mystery or the situations, but it's very rare that I find myself genuinely scared. Maybe grossed out would be a good term for what I feel when I read scary books. But I have 3 books here, and I am going to recommend them to you to read this Halloween. The first book I'm going to mention is one that I have mentioned on this channel very recently, and it is because it is the only book that has ever genuinely, maybe not scared me, but made me feel on edge in a way. And that of course is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Or Malerman, but this is basically a book in a sort of dystopian world where there are these creatures roaming the countryside, and basically if you look at them or see them, you will go insane, kill everyone around you, and then kill yourself. It's a pretty good concept. What makes this book so interesting though is that our main character is practically blindfolded whenever she leaves the house in case she runs into one of these creatures, because they don't really attack you, but they creep. And like I said before, this is just the one book that I've genuinely felt on edge and felt the suspense. Like when our main character hears a twig snap, you're like, oh, shit's about to happen. But yes, definitely recommend this book. The second book I'm going to mention is The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. Now, Jack Ketchum is a bit of a pulpy writer, I would say. He's not known for your sort of serious subjects. He's known for your sort of schlock horror. He's very much about the gore and the deranged circumstances. But with The Girl Next Door, he changes that up a little bit. This novel is actually based on a true story about a girl who was given to her neighbours to babysit. And basically the woman who was in charge of babysitting her rented her out to the local boys for sex, torture. It's a really gross and really unnerving true life story. And this book is basically Jack Ketchum's take on that. In this book, he definitely dials back on the gore that he is sort of known for and focuses more on the trauma that is caused by the situation. If I'm honest, Jack Ketchum is probably not the greatest literary writer, but because of the fact that it's based on the true story and that connection, it's one that definitely sticks with you and one where you definitely feel for the characters involved because you know it happened in real life. I know after I read this book, I read up on the case. It's actually really bad. I advise you not to, because the woman who committed the crimes actually got away with it in the end. She was released from prison. It's terrible. But it is definitely an unnerving and just a read that sticks with you and affects you just because you know it is a true story. Fucked up. Very fucked up. And then the third book I'm going to mention is sort of a love it or hate it book, and that is The Ruins by Scott Smith. I don't actually have the copy with me. I'm pretty sure it's Scott Smith. If you don't know much about this book, this is basically, and it's not a spoiler because it's advertised on the blurb, but this is basically a book about killer plants. Now, bear with me, because I know that sounds ridiculous, but this book is actually really good. This basically deals with a bunch of college kids who have gone on a backpacking trip, as you do, and they decide to go to these Mayan temples in the middle of nowhere. And when they go to the top of this temple, they become trapped because the local tribes people are at the bottom and not letting them leave because they have gone on sacred land. And that is when shit gets real, because the Mayans won't let them leave because they have come into contact with this plant. And what is scary, or gross, I would say is the better word for this novel, is how the plant actually kills you, and it basically just burrows into your skin while you are sleeping. It's the descriptions of what happens to you are what makes this book disgusting. To be honest, it is less about suspense and more about gore factor or unsettling images, but it really works. And I mean it works if you're the type of person who hears a book about killer plants and thinks, yes, I would like to read that. There's also a movie based on this book, which again I would consider good in that gross way. It's definitely good as far as backpacker horror goes. Killer plants, why not? So those are my 3 recommendations for what I think you should read this Halloween. If I had any honourable mentions, it would probably be The Troop by Nick Cutter and My Brain Goes Very Blank. Honourable mention, not honourable mentions. But that is going to be the end of this video. Stay tuned for my next video where I tell you the 3 books that I will be reading this Halloween, and I shall see you soon with another one. Goodbye!